What's up, ship captain?
I don't want to talk. I just got back from the cruise. Call me back tomorrow.
What the fuck?
Call me back tomorrow.
Okay, grump ass. Are you fucking ready to talk to me yet?
I am Stinky Worm.
Ugh,
Your dog stinks.
my dog stinks. Bro, listen, you guys, a few weeks ago, I don't remember when it was on here, but I said, oh, Toad went outside and he rolled in something and I don't know what it was and it was horrible and it looks like cement. I don't know what it was. Listen, I know what it was now
Uh-oh.
because it happened again and it was a skunk. And I went out there and saw the skunk. And luckily it was just a baby because if it was an adult, I don't even know what Toad would smell like right now. But my whole life, my hands, my body, my every doorknob in the house, the dog, everything smells like a skunk. It's so fucking disgusting.
Congratulations.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so much worse than I imagined. Like the skunk smell that you smell in the air is not what it smells like when it's on you. The spray smells like onions and garlic and rubber and chemicals all mixed together and it doesn't go away.
Yeah, it's a deterrent.
Ugh, I've given him so many baths. Everybody keeps telling me to put tomato sauce on him or tomato whatever the fuck. That
Tomato
don't work.
juice.
Yeah, the internet says that don't really work. Plus, he's white, so stop telling me to dump tomato juice on my dog because I'm not doing it. Secondly, all the websites say the recipe that does work is the peroxide and baking soda and dish soap. So I've done that twice along with regular baths, and he still stinks because most of the smell is on like his neck and his face, and it's hard to get around his eyes and his mouth.
Do dogs like tomato juice?
I mean, he likes noodle. He will eat a spaghetti noodle from me, yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like it would be hard to wash a dog in something that they like to eat.
I know. No, there's no way I'm putting that on him. The internet says the smell's going to last about 3 weeks and then it's probably going to dissipate. So I'm just going to wait.
What if you washed him instead of tomato-based spaghetti sauce? What if you washed him in Alfredo sauce?
I don't think that will work. I don't know. He seems pretty bummed out about it. I'm pretty bummed out about it. I went to my dad's house a couple days ago and I'm like, I feel like I smell. I feel like people can smell skunk on me. It's embarrassing, but because when it happens, like I didn't even think I didn't put gloves on. I didn't do anything. I just snatched him and put him in the bathtub and cleaned him all of it. So it's on me too.
Yeah.
So stupid. And then you were gone. So I had to, the backyard, my back steps are open on the sides and the underneath of the porch is open. So I had to quote unquote secure it all by myself. And I got every piece of wood in my house and in my garage and tacked it all over the place and put up wire fencing and did all this crazy shit. And I sent you a picture and you were cry laughing at what I did.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And all I could think about when I was looking at it, all of these random pieces of wood shoved sticks in front of boards.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was skunks dig.
I know, but they're not doing it. I did good. I did enough because they're not getting around it. No, it's working. But the thing is, all of the materials that I used are all different colors and shades. So together it looks like Wile E. Coyote trapped for fucking Roadrunner, and it's a disaster, but it's working.
Well, at some point this week, I'm going to come over and I'm going to measure it out and I'm going to cut you like 2 pieces of wood and we'll just put them there and it'll look very nice.
No, I need a lot.
Oh, I saw what you're working with and I realized how we can do it.
All right, well, okay.
And it'll look nice. And maybe you'll even have a little storage space under your steps.
I don't need any space. I just need these things to stay away from my dog. So yeah, everything stinks. The dog stinks. Every time I go to give him a kiss, he fucking stinks.
But you still love that little
He's
boy.
a baby. He's a baby. He didn't mean to.
And the poor little skunk. Because now the skunk is defenseless.
Well, that's his problem for shooting chemical smell in my dog's face.
He got scared.
It was so nasty. Toad came in like foaming at the mouth. It was brutal. He looked like, seriously, for like 3 days, he looked like, what have I done to myself? Like he definitely got it in his mouth. He was drinking water excessively for like 3 days. Like he fucked himself up. I felt bad. I hope he doesn't do that again, but he probably will do that again.
He'll probably do it again.
I know I've been going out on the porch before I let him out at night now and clapping like a psychotic high school football coach just on the sidelines doing anti-skunk clapping in the night. I think it's working.
So that sounds like you had a great week while I was gone.
No, that's not even. I know there's more. I feel like there's way more. Just the whole time was annoying, and it was balls hot the whole time I was trying to do all that shit outside. It's like 90 degrees in September because the world is burning. But you were in nice temps.
So I was gone for a week. It was 2 weeks for you.
Yeah, it felt like it.
You predicted it. That's why you thought I was going to be gone for 2 weeks, because your week was going to last 2 weeks.
I know, and you're just like, look at me on the deck. I have a cocktail. I'm here. I'm there, and I'm like, cool. Everything at my house sucks.
It's so funny when you take a cruise because you're like, what am I going to do? And then the second day you're like, oh, I'm going to start drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's what I'm going to do.
I feel like that's the only thing to do.
I mean, it was fun. It's always fun. It's fun to hang out and meet Pates and see people and talk to people. And there's only 2 places on the ship to smoke, so everybody knows where to find me. And like, that's all great. It's just weird. Cruise ships are just fucking strange. We were the youngest. There were like 40 of us for Strange Escapes. We were not even arguably the youngest group on the boat. There were a lot of moldy oldies on that boat. And I'll tell you what, the food that they have on a cruise ship is made for old people.
That's all you like.
Let me tell you, it wasn't bad.
All you want is a bread and a potato.
The problem is they kept doing this thing where they mix they're trying to, it's old people food. So they're like, a potato doesn't have a flavor, right? So they're going to cook it with onions.
Ew.
So then the potatoes taste like armpits the whole time.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Toad smells like right now, onion.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of soft foods, which I'm good with because I only have like 6 teeth.
Sure.
And there was a lot of starches. There was a lot of macaroni and cheese was eaten on this cruise.
That sounds delightful.
It was delightful. And then I spent the most amount of money I've spent was on room service, because if you ordered room service, they had a veggie burger on the menu that they didn't have anywhere else on the ship.
Yum.
So I'd get a veggie burger and fries, and it was nice. The first few ports that we stopped in were just like, one was in New Hampshire, a couple were in Maine, and I didn't really leave the boat. But then when we got to like Halifax in Canada, I was like, I'm getting off this fucking boat. I'm going to have adventures. But before we get to the adventures, I will tell you right now, there is a video game arcade on the cruise ship that I was on.
Sick.
It was empty the entire time of the cruise because there were no children on the cruise. The only people that used it were Steve, me, and Becky Galentine.
Nice.
That's it.
Perfect.
And there were no pinball machines. There was 2 like skee ball machines, air hockey, and then like a zombie shoot 'em up game, and like a beer bottle shoot 'em up video game, and then like 20 claw machines.
Did they have a candy crane?
They had so many cranes. It was
I love a crane.
okay, but here's the problem. So I won a Stretch Armstrong, a mini Stretch Armstrong. It was 750 tickets. The first time that Becky and I went in the arcade, each game was between $2 and $4 to play.
For one play?
Yes, for one play.
Supposed to be 25 cents.
I think the first time that we were there, I spent $20 on games and got 39 tickets. So I had nothing.
Yeah.
And then Becky was the one who pointed out, because the machines tell you, you won 5 tickets, you won 10 tickets, you won 5 tickets. Becky was the one that they were just like fucking kids, because they weren't even giving you the right amount of tickets. It said like you won 10 tickets and then it would give you 8.
Nah.
And there's no one running it. It's all automated. So there's no one to even complain to. So you know that parents are sending kids into that, and kids are just blowing hundreds of dollars, and they're not even giving the kids the right amount of tickets.
Well, you better write somebody a letter about this.
I actually already did.
Oh my God.
I wrote a letter to Norwegian Cruise Line saying they were ripping off children. But like the second from last day of the cruise, I walked in and I did this giant wheel of fortune, and I hit 1,000 tickets, and that was only for $2. That was a $2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what'd you get with that? One of those like sticky jelly hand things that you flap on the wall?
I got literally a miniature 2-inch Stretch Armstrong doll that I have seen for sale at the Dollar Tree for $1.
Well, This is how you chose to spend your money. Didn't they have stuffed animal claw machines?
They did, but they're all on that setting where it's like the machine literally goes like, "Ugh," and then just
Ugh,
drops.
that's a loose hand.
It's a complete loose claw.
Yeah, I would have got it. I'm a sniper at those things. Absolute sniper.
You would have spent so much money.
I know. I would hurl myself off the deck of the ship.
And then in the casino, I played the coin pusher machine.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I played, I think I played like $30. And they had money wrapped up, and I could see like the money coming closer and closer. You know, those coin pushers, they take a lot. So
I never went on those.
eventually the whole wad of money that was paper clipped fell, and I got it, and I opened it up, and it was a $5 bill and three $1 bills.
Bro, this place is a disaster. They could at least wrap the drink ticket in the middle or something.
So in the coin pusher machine, and if you go to like Las Vegas or Atlantic City in the coin pusher machines, there are dice. And if you get a dice, you take your winnings up to the cashier and they roll the dice, and then they times your winning amount against the dice.
That's sick.
So I spent $60, won 2 dice, took my money up to the cashier and said, "Let's roll these dice." And the lady at the window said, "These are souvenirs."
No.
And she goes, "Would you like to buy some more? They are $2 a piece."
Your whole trip is a fraud.
Fraud.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Nothing's real.
It was wild.
That sucks.
But aside from that, everything was great. The lectures were great. The excursions were great. We got to Halifax. The night before we got to Halifax, because the ship was passing over the part of the ocean where in the 1960s, the Shag Harbor UFO crashed. So a UFO in the 1960s was seen by hundreds of people, and it crashed in the ocean, and they did a whole reconnaissance dive, and they never found it. And then 10 years later, 5 fishing boats saw a 60-foot sea monster come up in the same area.
Whoa.
So as our ship was passing over it that night, I got everybody from Strange Escapes up on the top deck, and we did magic.
That wasn't the same sea monster you talked about on the last episode?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. You were making it sound like a different one. I'm like, wait, how many are there?
Nope, it was that one.
Oh, Cape Sable.
The Cape Sable sea monster or sea serpent, whatever you want to call it. And nothing really happened except when we got up there, we were in a fog bank and the foghorn kept going off. And I told everybody, like, it's going to be hard to do magic with this foghorn going off. And after I said that, we came out of the fog bank and it never went off again.
Nice.
Until we were done, then the fog came back and the foghorn started going off. It was very strange.
Nice.
Then we woke up the next day and the boat was an hour late getting to shore.
That serpent clamped his little mouth on the back of the ship and just held it there for like an hour.
Yep. He held us back for an hour. And then we took the excursion to the Titanic cemetery and our bus broke down.
Dang. It was pissed that I wasn't there. That's why.
It is true. I told everybody there that you love them and think about them all the time.
I know. That made me happy. You texted. I put it in the on our Patreon chat because it was so cute because you're like, I'm at the Titanic cemetery. And I'm like, tell them I love them. And then you wrote back, I already did.
Yep.
And he brought me back a little bottle of grass trimmings from there.
Grass and a leaf from the tree that's near the unknown child who is now known, and a couple little flowers.
It's perfect.
But it was weird because I didn't know where it was at. You know, you're on excursion, you don't know, and I'm not familiar with the area. But it was crazy because I was on the bus talking to people, and at a certain point, like, I felt like I got a headache, and it's early in the morning, and so I'm like, I'm just not used to being awake in the morning, and my stomach kind of felt wobbly, and my head was feeling wobbly, and I was like, gosh damn it, I don't want to be sick. And like, right when I was thinking to myself, like, I might need some water or something, like the bus driver was like, we're here. And I was like, oh, it's just the fucking energy from the cemetery. It's just like getting close to it was fucking me up. And like, we all went inside, and like, it's so heavy there, like the energy, and everyone was just quiet, like no one talked, and people were crying, and I like was all teared up, and like, it was emotionally overwhelming.
Yeah, for you guys listening, like, this cemetery has, what, how many hundreds of victims of the Titanic?
I think it's like 126.
Yeah, so and it's not just like Johnny whoever and so and so. No, they're literally numbers. They don't even have their names on them. They're numbers by who got pulled from the water at which time, like in what order.
Yeah, it just has the date the Titanic sank, and then underneath it, the number of that body when it was recovered.
Yeah, that's nuts and really depressing.
Yeah, and it hung over that cemetery. Like all the places I've been in 34 years, like well, even now thinking about it, like I'm just thinking about the feeling I had. Like it was very overwhelming emotionally.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And there's they have a museum there. Did y'all go to the museum?
I didn't go to the museum specifically because I was like, after the way I felt at the cemetery, I was like, I don't know if I can handle that museum.
Yeah, I've been around some of the artifacts. It's heavy for sure.
Yeah. And then the only kind of good thing was the next place that we stopped at was this place called Peggy's Cove.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all these giant glacial rocks, and it just leads out into the ocean, and it's got a lighthouse, and it's really beautiful there. And like the wind was wild, and I felt like, because I've had a long relationship, I might have talked about this on the podcast, like I have a relationship with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just sat down and like let it blow on me and let it blow all of that emotion kind of away, and I felt like completely re-energized. But then right as we got onto the bus, I told the tour lady, I was like, you've got 30 ghost hunters on this bus. You might want to tell us like a spooky story or a ghost story. And she was like, okay. So we get back on the bus, we start driving, we literally drive a mile, and she goes, I'm going to tell you a ghost story about the Mary Celeste, and the bus dies.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
So we all had to get off the bus. They had to call a new bus. Like it was crazy.
Did she tell the story while you were waiting?
She told us when it first broke down. She finished just talking about the Mary Celeste and how everybody disappeared off the boat. If those of you who don't know the story of the Mary Celeste, read up on it. It was a big boat full of people, and it went out in the ocean, and then they found it adrift, and they went on board, and there was nobody there. The captain's logbook was open like he was writing. No signs of anything bad happening on the ship. Everybody was just gone. They still have never figured out where everybody went.
Yeah, they have like 60-foot waves out there. They just get swooshed, and then everybody flies off the other side, and then everybody's gone.
But that, like, everybody below deck too?
I don't know how to answer that.
I'll tell you the one thing. Listen, I could have been a dickhead about this, and I didn't. She was a very good tour guide. She was very funny in some parts, a little long-winded in others, but that's fine. She's a tour guide. She was also, when we got our new bus, she started telling us about when Harry Houdini was in Halifax.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain part of her story, she said, because of the movie Harry Houdini, people think he died doing the upside down water tank because that was in the movie, and that's what a lot of people see. She goes, but Harry Houdini actually didn't die in the water tank. He died later on in Chicago.
Think again, lady.
I almost shouted it out.
You didn't correct her?
I didn't correct her.
She's just going to tell busloads of people that wrong-ass story. Everybody knows that wasn't in Chicago.
I just looked at the people around me. I was like, he died in Detroit.
Yeah, he did. It's like one of the only things that people know about Houdini is that he was like an escape artist and that he died in Detroit. Those are the two biggest Houdini facts you can know.
It's also really funny too, because she knew we were ghost people because I told her we wanted ghost stories and folklore and stuff. But she, like, this Houdini story, because he had been in Halifax, like she has it in her brain and how she tells it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, and Harry Houdini was, really known for being an escape artist, but a lot of people don't know that he spent his life like debunking all the fraud psychics and mediums, which aren't real, and blah, 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 and all that stuff is fake. I was like, oh, this part isn't going over well with our group.
I mean, he did do that. He did spend his time doing that, but I'm sure he knew that there was some that were like good.
I think that he was one of those people, like he saw people getting bilked by fake psychics.
Yeah.
And then eventually got to the point where he was just like, there's no such thing as real psychics.
Yeah. It was probably like a thing too about how like some people in the paranormal now are so cutthroat too. And that was probably like a small niche back in the day. So he's like, okay, well, there's only a couple weird ass things that people can go to, a magic show or a psychic. So if they're taking money away from me, they better not be lying or I'm going to suss them out.
Well, and you have to think of this too, like back in the day, certain psychics and mediums who were absolutely fraudulent and doing insane things. We're charging, like, you gotta imagine, turn of the century, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charging $15 to $20 to talk to a loved one.
Yeah.
That's like, in our day and age, that's like thousands of dollars.
I know, seriously. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Houdini's doing like escape routines for like 15-cent admission.
Yeah. Or just in public for no reason for free.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was a very fun trip. Got a lot of sleep. And now I'm back home.
Good job. It looked fun. It looked cute, cozy, diverse. There was a lot of different things done. I did miss you.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Because it felt like I said, it felt long. I was like, where's the...
I rarely thought about you.
That's really nice of you to say, actually. I'm really glad we're having this
Oh, I
moment.
brought you up constantly to everyone because I was missing my best friend.
Ooh, I know. I miss you too. It's weird when you're not here. It's like our psychic thing. Like when I know you're sick or when you know I'm sick, like we're weirdly tuned in with each other because we don't live that far from each other. So when you're not here, I feel like my anchor is like gone. It feels weird.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, in the last episode, you were talking about like you don't know who I dish gossip and tea with when you're not around.
Mhm.
Like I walked around a cruise ship for 7 days wanting to like say dark shit about things, and there was nobody around.
You're gonna whisper this off the boat to the serpent because
Yep.
Jessica's not here.
Like there was one time on the elevator, I got on the elevator and the guy goes, "These elevators are slow," and I was like, "And the food fucking sucks." Like I just said it out loud because I needed to say something shitty to
Just
someone.
say shitty stuff. I know people don't know that you're like shady. I always like, I think we've talked about that on here before too, but like you keep your shade to yourself, but if anybody ever got like part of it, they would just explode and die.
Yes.
I like it.
And last but not least on the cruise ship, one morning I went and got some coffee and they were playing like cruise ship trivia,
Nice.
but I walked away because the question and the answer made me so fucking mad. I had to go and lay down in my room.
Was it wrong again?
I will give you the question and I will also give you the answer.
Well, let me try and answer first.
What is something hot in the earth that will kill you?
Lava?
This is only, there's one right answer to this question.
That's not true because there's geysers too, and a geyser can kill you.
What is something hot in the earth that will kill you?
And those acid pools.
What is your single answer? And I'm looking for the right answer.
Lava, I guess.
The answer was hot peppers.
That's not in the earth. They don't even grow underground.
I went back to my room and had to lay down. I was so mad.
What the fuck? Now I know why everybody out there is so stupid. They go on these cruise ships and come back with all this false information.
And the question before that, I had to stay to get the answers, right? So that's when they gave me hot peppers, I left. The question before that was, what country has the smallest people? Except it said county. And this is on like a movie screen sized.
Just typo city.
It was madness.
So yeah, little stuff like that would drive me nuts. For real.
And when you've been on a boat for 6 days, it is things like that drive you insane.
Yeah, because then you're like, what is real anymore? Am I going to go back and this is how everything is spelled? Did things change while I was gone? What is happening?
Hot peppers are the hottest thing on earth.
Yeah, okay. And they suddenly grow underground like potatoes or whatever he said. I don't know what he's trying to say.
And then one of the fun little side notes was Galentine found on the ship in the buffet room a cake that looks like it was trying to be a lion, but they painted tiger stripes on it, but they gave it like big bear ears. And
It had like Mickey Mouse ears.
yeah, and nobody was eating it because it was so frightening, and it just kept falling apart through the whole trip, like losing its teeth and its ears. It just was so gross.
I saw pictures of that thing. I don't know why someone thought to make that and why it sat there. I didn't understand. It was frightening though.
It was very frightening.
It was like those things where you go to a scary roadside museum thing and there's like the worst taxidermy you've ever seen.
Yeah,
It looks like a bad taxidermy.
but there's free ice cream on the cruise ship.
That's sick.
Self soft serve all day, 24 hours a day.
That's how it is at Google offices. They just have ice cream out, just ice cream stations all over the place. And you just get free sundaes. I'm like, this is the best place I've ever seen.
I would wake up in the morning, I would go and get my cup of coffee, and then instead of using half and half, I would put soft serve vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, that is how you live your life.
I was living my best life, and then my next drink would be either a White Russian or a mudslide at about 10 in the morning.
I don't really ever want to go on a cruise, but us doing that for like a week does sound pretty legit.
I think you would like it. If you could have Toady with you, you would like it.
Yeah, I just have to have my dog.
Yep.
What else? So yesterday I had to go get, this is very random. You got, this is a big segue. Just really sharp segue. I had to go get a scope yesterday in my fucking bladder.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, maybe it'll calm you down. They're like, here's the screen, and maybe it'll calm you down if you look at it. And in my head, I'm like, who do you have to be that this would calm you down? It looks so gross. There is something, and I've never noticed. I don't know if I ever noticed it before yesterday, but listen, the inside of your bladder looks like a brain. It looks like it looks like a wrinkly brain.
Yes.
So fucking gross. And listen, I can't even explain it. I don't know what it's called, but there is a weird fucking thing that happens in your mind and like your like sense of reality when you are looking at the inside of one of your own organs.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to see it.
No, I'm just like, what? And anything could pop up on the screen at any time. I'm like, what's gonna be in there, and why can I see it? And I'm awake.
You don't know what's gonna pop up in there, like
like
a penny, a penny you ate when you were 6 years old.
That's what I was waiting for, because it all looked way too normal. I'm like, all right, nothing ever goes right. So what kind of weird thing are we gonna see on here? Just gonna be like a little weird fish or a fucking parasite or something. I don't know. And they're like showing you, because your bladder is like connected to other shit. So they're like, here's this hole where this comes in. I'm like, this is fucking so gross.
Yeah. I don't think people need to see it.
No, I don't know why. There's nowhere to look though. So I was just looking at it and trying to not think about what was going on. But that was crazy. If you guys have ever had to have, and I'm sure you guys have had to have exploratory shit done, but like if you've ever seen the inside of your organs, that is crazy. And you guys can go ahead and DM me and tell me about your organs if you want me to, or if you want to.
I don't know how this is gonna sound.
I don't know how anything that I just said sounded.
Just in the course of a normal human life, you sometimes have the ability to kind of see people's insides sometimes.
Gross.
And it's gross.
Gross. Yeah, nobody should be seeing inside of anywhere.
No, but I mean, when like there's only so many holes on a human body, and throughout your life, sometimes you have to like look in people's holes or look at people's holes, and
gross.
It's gross. I don't want to deep dive it.
You don't have to.
No, but I'm saying, like, if someone's like, you want to put a scope in there? No.
No, I know. So any fucking way. They didn't find anything, so now I have to go to a kidney fucking specialist.
Jesus Christ. What about the Alfredo Ball?
Well, listen, before I get to the thing, this is what okay, listen, this is what happened. When I was walking out, and then he's like, here's your thing for the kidney doctor, and I'm holding this guy's number, and I'm walking out, and the first thing that went in my brain, guess what happened? My brain goes, I'm 99% sure this is about energy drinks. I really feel like I've roasted my own fucking kidneys, bro. Because I have one almost every day.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's okay.
That's probably not great.
Nope. And I think I fucked everything up. So anyway, so when I go to the kidney guy, I have to say that. But then, whatever, we'll see. It could be completely unrelated, but for right now, as it stands, and probably forever, I'm off the fucking energy drinks, and it really sucks. Because I have
buddy.
I know, they're like a little treat. I would rather have an energy drink than like an ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah. They're just like a little boost, and I need them, and now I can't have them anymore. But it did say, even if you do have kidney problems, you can still drink black coffee and tea. So I guess that's what I fucking drink now.
That's your new drink. You could take like an iced tea and like throw a Starburst in it, and it'll taste kind of like an energy drink.
I think the point though is to like limit, like when you're getting the caffeine, to limit the sugar at the same time, because you're just like roasting your insides.
Right.
Any fucking way, guys. Just don't ever look at a scope of your bladder. It's really gross. It's really gross.
They have those new swallowable cameras to like look at your stomach and intestines. I watched a like 60 Minutes thing about that, and it's just like the size of a normal pill, but it has a camera. And I was watching someone else's insides, and I was like, I don't need to ever see this.
Nope, this was a new experience for me, and I didn't love it. It made me feel weird, and it made me feel like almost like you're not alive, like you're a specimen. I'm like, why y'all looking at this shit? I'm right here.
That 60 Minutes clip I saw about the swallowable camera, at one time the doctor's like, okay, so it's in your esophagus and it's going down, it's about to get to your stomach. And the doctor says, this is where I like kind of turned it off. The doctor goes, because it's a doctor, and the doctor goes, okay, it just hit the juice.
What?
I'm
What?
like, that's not juice. That's like, it's stomach stuff. It's not
What?
juice. Don't call it juice.
I mean, that's me as a doctor, literally. Ugh. But yeah, that was weird. But anyway, the Alfredo Ball update on the Alfredo Ball. Really good update on the Alfredo Ball. I got my results of my MRI, and like, I sent you a screenshot. I sent several people the screenshot, and it just says like, "Hey, guess what? It's gone." It's just like it could have been like an active thing that just like worked itself out. It's gone. It's literally not there anymore. So whatever the fuck everybody did, whatever vibes you guys sent me, whatever vibes me and you sent to me, whatever the fuck, it's gone. It's literally gone.
It was all the good magic.
I know. It was because it was 7.6 centimeters, which is huge. And then I was telling a friend about it, and I'm like, they said it's gone. It's just gone. And then my girlfriend of mine said I had a 4 centimeter one before too. And they said between my first appointment and my second appointment, mine disappeared too. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Wow.
I know. So the Alfredo Ball is no more. That is the great news.
Yay!
Yay! And I also wanted to give a shout out to, well, almost everybody that listens to this show, pretty much. I mean, I don't want to go too much into it, but some very cute people that surround us pulled off a very crazy surprise for me and made my life better in a big way. And I'm forever thankful, seriously. And I just want to say thank you to the people who organized it. Marley, Melissa B, Adam, Terry, Emily, and everybody who contributed to this crazy surprise that I'm not going to talk about, but it was nuts. I'm still not over it. I went to my dad's house like 2 days ago. I told him about it. He's like, "Are you freaking serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I could not wait to tell you."
Yeah.
So crazy things. That's one good thing that's happened to me lately. Everything else has been a shit show.
That and the Alfredo Ball disappearing. That's a good week.
I know. It's even that's why me and you
I
are very
know.
much like bad shit happens and then a good thing will happen. Like I'm not gonna spiral because I know something's gonna even it out.
Yes.
Yes. But usually you take a couple, it's like they come in threes or something, like shitty stuff and then good stuff will start to happen. I don't know. But yeah.
I've been massing up all the bad things and waiting for those good things to happen.
Well, don't be good things. You have good things come and happen. You got to go on a free cruise.
Yep.
And you ate ice cream for a week.
I know. I'm very appreciative of everyone and everything.
I know you are. And like there's a new famous hippo on the internet called Moo Deng who's taking over. It looks like a tiny Fritz ball.
Listen, I love Moo Deng,
Yeah.
but I'm always going to be a Fritz.
Same. Fritz is number one. Fiona's number two. Sorry,
Yeah.
Fiona. But Fritz is flawless. And do you know what Moo Deng means?
It's something like little pork chop or something like that.
It means bouncy pig. That's the cutest name. Bouncy pig. That's Toad. Toadski, bouncy, stinky pig.
People love Moo Deng because she does what Fritz does, which is she opens her mouth and tries to bite everything.
Yeah, she's gonna be chasing around the other hippos soon and trying to bite their tail like Fritz does.
Fritz was the innovator of that.
I know. And we were saying how, and even like our homie that works at the Cincinnati Zoo was like, I think Fritz are obviously their hippos have it way better than like Moo Deng is getting fucking punished. People need to leave that hippo alone.
Yeah.
As much as we like to see it, you don't have to shove a camera in its face every day all day long.
Exactly.
Let it be a baby. Okay, this has nothing to do with anything, but I saw this the other day and I have to tell you because I didn't tell you yet. I saw somebody on Twitter call Elon Musk. This is my new favorite Elon Musk slam nickname. They called him Sissy SpaceX. That made me so happy.
That's pretty silly.
He's such a disaster.
I saw some interview with him and he is the dumbest person in the world.
I think he's gonna lose. I don't know. I saw Mark Cuban talking about how he wanted to buy Twitter. I hope he can do it. That would save everything.
Oh, by the way, speaking of seeing things on television, I think I told you this to jump back to the cruise. The cruise has very limited channels and television.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that because yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I watched Lisa Frankenstein like 11 times.
That made me so happy. Listen, it's so funny too because one of our friends and Pates DM'd me a few days ago and was like, "Do you have a Lisa Frankenstein poster? Because I have some promo posters." And I was like, "I have a big giant one, but do you have tiny ones? Because I do like a tiny poster because those
Mm-hmm.
big ones are a lot of real estate on the wall."
Yep.
And they showed me, and it's different than the one that we have. And I already told them, say, "Thank you so much." So they're going to get one to me. And then I saw you like whatever, 48 hours ago, not even. And literally, you talked about Lisa Frankenstein for 3 hours. And then I came back home and I went back in that DM. I go, "You might as well send me too." Because Tenny can't stop fucking talking about the movie now.
I watched it like 11 times, and then I watched Dune 2 like 5 times or
I would
something.
rather have the TV just be off. I'm just gonna watch the ceiling fan and make up my own show.
I just opened the curtains and looked at the ocean.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know why you're watching TV or on a boat. I read a cute thing the other day about the Babadook is having like an anniversary, I think, or something, or like it came out in theaters again. I don't fucking know. But I read this interview with Jennifer Kent, who I think was the writer director. But she said that when they filmed it in a haunted house, like a real haunted house. And she's like, the whole basement was so haunted. And she says she has pictures of ghosts.
Huh.
I know. I didn't know.
I've never seen it.
It's good. It's pretty good. I gotta watch it again. I feel like I remember liking it. It's
Yeah.
obviously just like different. Like it's hard to be scared of the Babadook because it looks so weird, but
I don't even know if I know what it looks like.
it looks like a Slender Man type situation, with like a
Mm,
hat on, kind of.
kind of a hat man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I've been busy and dealing with shit, so I haven't watched that much, but I watched Grown. That movie. I don't know if I brought it up on here yet, but there's this movie that dropped on streaming in the last few days called Invoking Yell. The synopsis, listen, the premise of the movie is so sick. It's like the country of origin of the movie is Chile. It's in subtitles, Spanish subtitles.
Chile.
Chile. I know, sorry. It's Chile. But it's about like these girls who are in a black metal band and they go in the woods to record parts for their black metal album, but also they're going to like a haunted area and they want to get EVPs and like intersperse the EVPs into their black metal album. Like that sounds like the best and it's found footage.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sounds like my whole shit. And then I watched it. It's just I wanted to love it and it was not that great. And I'm sad because listen, it looked good and the characters look good. They didn't look cheesy. They like legitimately looked like girls in a metal band. They didn't look like they didn't go
Yeah.
overboard with like, ooh, they're goth, whatever. But I'm telling you, okay, usually in found footage movies, and even the Frogman movie that I love from this movie, I feel like even they character built for a little bit too long. I'm like, can we get to the stuff? So listen, this Invoking Yell movie, not even kidding, nothing happens for a whole hour. They're just walking in the fucking woods and saying shitty stuff to each other. It sucks. I was bummed out. I don't know. I feel like some people would still like it, but it's just mad slow. And then yes, stuff does happen, but by the time it does, you barely care. And also, it doesn't really have anything to do with the paranormal. I feel like that was like a ruse for what.
It was supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't actually do that. And I'm like, wait, so there's no EVPs from ghosts? I'm like, I'm so bad. It was like how we were talking about that Cuckoo movie. Like, it has all the bits to be so good. And then at the end, it's not good. And that makes it so frustrating because I thought I was going to love it and I didn't love it. And it was boring.
You know, if you want to hear a ghostly album,
What?
you could check out Necrofusion by Zach Bagans.
Ew. Good grief.
Have you ever heard that thing?
No.
It is straight up like techno, like house industrial electronic dance music. It's like boom, boom, boom. And then there's these like audio clips of Zach going like, this is the scariest ghost in the house. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh my
boom.
God.
This is the scariest ghost I've ever seen. Boom, boom. Boom,
No.
boom. Can anybody hear me? Boom, 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 boom. Can someone knock on this wall? Boom, boom, boom. It's wild.
That is so cringy. So cringy. But I just want to say again, too, though, that movie, I've watched worse than that movie. And I'm not telling you not to watch it. You can do whatever you want. Like I said, the premise is good. It was just mad slow. And I wish they would have done more with what they had. But I don't like talking bad about movies, but I'm just letting y'all know. But it's on streaming. But whatever the person makes next, I would definitely watch. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of these like gateway movies, like I see what's there and I like their ideas. So I feel like the next thing is going to be like a banger. I feel like we're going to get invited to the Megalopolis advanced screening and I still don't know if I want to go.
Ooh, I watched someone's review of it the other day.
Someone you trust?
Yeah.
They say it was bad.
Yeah, they said it's a mess.
Yeah.
They said
And
it's
I
a mess.
did see some people doing the thing where there's somebody in the theater, I think.
Yeah, the reviewer I saw went and saw it at an IMAX, and it had the live person stand up and talk to Adam Driver.
Yeah, you guys, it's like they hire somebody in the audience to stand up and talk, and then the character in the movie is talking off the screen to the person in the crowd.
But what I didn't know, and I found this out from the review spoiler, is that the live person in the audience who stands up and talks to Adam Driver, that is already recorded. They're not saying anything. Like their vocal, like they're just mouthing the words to Adam Driver.
The person standing up is not really talking.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah. That way they didn't have to teach anybody like lines and how to say them.
Yeah.
You just stand up and pretend you're talking to Adam Driver.
I mean, that does make a lot more sense, but I thought it was going to be, and I don't know how the fuck they would even do this, but I thought it was going to be a thing where like everyone was different, kind of.
I kind of thought that too.
Yeah, but that don't make no sense. They wouldn't be able to put different answers in there.
Can I just tell you the only time that ever kind of worked for me, and I don't know if you could do this now. Again, we were talking about just how uncomfortable it can be sometimes in a movie theater because of the society we live in.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went and saw Friday the 13th in 3D multiple times, the theater hired someone to dress up like Jason and run through the aisles.
No, I don't like that.
And it fucking freaked me out.
I don't really like that. No. You definitely couldn't do that now because I would think I was about to die.
Yeah.
Maybe then it would be funny. I don't know.
Back in the day when it first came out, it was because it's Friday the 13th in 3D, right? And then all of a sudden, like, there's a Jason running through the theater. Like, it was fucking scary.
I always think of shit like that too. Like when I go to the drive-in and I'm like, what if somebody just like came up and smacked the car? I would get so fucking scared. Like if that happened, if they did that at a drive-in, I would pee my pants in my car. That would be the worst. But I think that's it. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of anything.
No, I'm sure I'm missing a lot.
I know. It was a long time.
It was a long time. Specific thanks, even though there's a ton of people to thank on the cruise, I can't thank them all, but I can thank Cooper for hanging out with me most of the time on the cruise. So thanks, Cooper.
What do we have coming up? We have you guys, our Haunted Felt Mansion in Michigan. We have an event with Adam Berry on October 25th, 26th, and 27th. They did add some more VIP tickets, so you can go on a paranormal investigation with us. And it's feltmansion.org, and then you just go to like the little events section and it's under hauntings, I believe. So come hang out with us if you want to. Talk about the melon heads, look at the pretty house.
And I have an event in Omaha at the Benson Theater on October 5th. I believe you can go to bensontheater.org to buy tickets.
Woo. Is that everything?
I think that's all I got.
I know, I'm tired.
I am too.
I gotta walk the dog.
Stinky.
I know, there twice since he got skunked, I've brought him around other dogs and they don't even know what to make of him. Like they're like, why doesn't he smell like a dog? He smells weird.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
He's being ostracized from the dog community.
He is. And I saw my dad's puppies again and they're nuts. They're literally nuts. They have so much energy and they're crazy.
All right, buddy. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad that we see each other.
I know. I'm glad you're back too. We can hang out and do fall things.
Yeah, you did a surprise hangout on Monday.
I did.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sometimes I leave my house. It's rare, but you never know. That's why I'm like, because I know a lot of people know I don't do anything, so they don't invite me to stuff, and then I get sad. But then it's like, y'all should just do it because, I mean, even if it's 99% no, it could be there is a 1% that you never know what's going to happen. So
the cheers went up from the crowd when you appeared.
That was cute.
It was very cute.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy. I'm done with you now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay.
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 Bye.
Oh my God, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.